Okay, so good night, everyone listening to my voice. I hope you have had yourself a blessed and a beautiful Saturday so far. Couldn't help but come on today because, as many of you know, I am a mental health advocate, and I really try to promote mental health awareness and just promote great mental health. I've had my own experiences with mental health challenges. By the grace of God, I continue to conquer each day because I don't think mental health when mental health wellness. I don't think that it is a destination. I think that it's a journey, right? So it's something that every day of our lives we have to seek after and to try and just continue to be mentally well. In addition to that, for those of you who may be like me or who would have had some personal experiences with mental health unwellness like anxiety, depression, there's so many others, but those two are the more popular ones and the ones that I am more familiar with. You would know that, you know, maintaining mental wellness is about every day being intentional about what you do, what you say, who you listen to, what you're exposed to, what you put in your body, what you take out, the company that you keep, the mindset that you have, your perspective on what's going on. So many different things contribute to our mental well being as a person. And it's a journey that I continue to be on. And I thank God that I have been able to use my faith in Him, His love for me, my confidence in His word that all things work together for me for good, and all the many things, the many scriptures that remind me that I am victorious in this journey. But I wanted specifically to address the matter of depression and suicide. And I'm led to do that tonight because I don't know the young lady in our community, but it does seem as if there is a young lady that may have experienced depression and as a result taken her own life. Now, I am not exactly certain because I do not know the young lady. I'm just going by little tidbits and what I'm gathering from Facebook comments and what have you. And one of the things that I think, me personally, that I think we need to remember with mental health is we need to be more proactive, you know, less reactive, more proactive. Because, once someone has gotten to the point where they have decided to take their own life, then we know that the suffering, the pain that they endured, it must have been so great, so horrific, so terrible that somewhere in the recesses of their mind, they felt that taking their life was the best option for them. So when somebody makes that decision and is actually successful, then we know that that person has been suffering for a very long time. You know, they didn't just start going through depression a couple of weeks ago or maybe even a year ago. No, that suffering has been long and it has been painful for you to come to the point where you have decided that, you know what, I am going to do this. I am going to take my life because I need a release. I need relief from this heartache. I need relief from this torment that I find myself in. And obviously, like I said, persons who decide to take their life, that is the point that you're at. And even keeping it simple, sometimes you're just tired. You're just tired. Struggling with a mental illness is rough. It's really, really difficult. And what makes this so bad, and this is why we have to continue to promote mental health awareness, and one of the reasons that I try to do it is because I feel that the fact that we cannot actually see mental illness, we cannot grasp it with our hands. It's not tangible, right? So we tend to ignore it. We tend to brush it aside. Um, we tend to deal with it very callously. You know, if we broke a leg, or if someone we loved had hypertension, or if someone we know is diagnosed with cancer, we take those things very, very seriously. And there is no way that anyone who is in their right frame of mind, be it the person who actually experiencing the illness or the loved ones of that person, we're not just going to sit back and say, you know, pray about it, you'll be all right. Or just even like callously think about it for a second and then keep going on with our day. But unfortunately, even though mental illness is real, depression is so real, anxiety is so real, these are life altering, life changing events that happen to people, we still kind of brush that aside. Now, I don't know the situation of this young lady. I know that, you know, mental health is a challenge. A lot of us, we are not familiar with it. We're ignorant. We don't know how to deal with it. We don't know how to identify it. So even if we ourselves are experiencing it or those we love are experiencing it, sometimes just for lack of know how, we do not know how to help that person. But I think in many cases, a person that is suffering from some type of mental illness, there has to be signs. There may not be signs to the general public, right? Because just how I'm on this Facebook feed now, I can smile, I can put on a great brave face, and none of you would know that anything is wrong, right? That's because, you know, you're watching me through a screen. You don't really know me. So we go out there, we're in the grocery store, even at our jobs or wherever we are, we put on a brave face. So I'm not saying that it may have been apparent to the general public or those type of people. But normally persons that are in our immediate circles, there are signs. Sometimes, most times, there's an indication that this person is going through. You know, that they're in a dark place, that they're not the person who they used to be, that something is wrong. Most times, those who are really, really close to us can pick up on the fact that something is not right. But I think so many times in the society we live in, we have become so cavalier, so nonchalant about each other's well being. You know, we see one another and we have such surface conversations. How are you? Oh, I'm great. Or even if, you know, we feel that something is wrong with that person or something is not right, we're picking that up in our spirits, we still don't take the time to dig further. Why? Deep down, we don't want to be bothered. We're busy doing us. We're busy living our lives. We're busy with our own stresses. So, you know, we say, hey, I got to do me. And even though we know that something is not right, and even though we may suspect that someone that we love deep down is not in a good place, you know, we kind of just brush it aside. Oh, they'll be okay. Or we may just say to them, hey, you know, so and so, I'm going to pray for you, all right? I'm going to pray for you. And you may actually pray for the person, but you do nothing else. You do nothing tangible. You don't go about actually doing something real to help the person. And not saying that prayer isn't real, but remember now what the Bible says about that. If your brother comes to you and he's hungry, you don't pat him on the head, tell him you're going to pray for him, and send him away. No, you don't do that. It is within your power. It is within your ability now to give your brother something to eat. And that's what you do. You give him something to eat, and then you send him on his way. You meet that need. And that is what we are supposed to do. We have to be each other's keeper. But see, society has taught us that we need to chase so many other things that are not nearly as important as those we love and care about in our lives. And as a result, we're too busy to really address whatever's going on. Or, we don't want to get caught up. Or we don't want to get involved. Or it ain't our business. Or, well, they could be all right. I just pray for them. They could be all right. And we justify our lack of concern or lack of help. We justify that with a zillion reasons as to why, even though we may suspect that the person is not in a good place, as to why we now cannot find time to reach out and see how we can actually offer some type of tangible help. I'll give you a short little story about me. And when I was having a real tough time, I tell you, people, there's some things that I've experienced in life, and I still say the mental was the worst of all of them, the worst experience I've ever had. And I remember there was maybe a 2 3 week span. I mean, it was dark. Life was dark for me. And there was a sister from my church. This woman came to my door. Now, I am not saying that you would be able to do this type of thing per se, but I'm just showing you where, we can't just talk the talk, walk the walk. Action, people. Action. So don't just see your sister or your brother struggling with depression, going through, and don't do nothing. There's always something that we can do. So, my good sister, that woman come to my door, people, almost every day for 3 weeks solid. Listen, it ain't had nothing to do with money. It ain't had nothing to do with monetary value. She just came and she was just there. Some days, just to tell me, Krishna, it's going to be okay. You're not in the right place right now. You're in a dark place. But we're going to look back on this. We're going to look in that rearview mirror. Some days she come on, let's go outside. Let's go for a walk on the beach. Just little things to get me through. And that's the type of thing I'm talking about. If you even suspect, just suspect for a minute, or even outrightly know, a lot of us know. We know the people going through, and you know what we say? They crazy. Child, one, she ain't got it all. And then you just go about your day. You don't even try and figure out what the heck is going on with the person. And some people even laugh at it. They find that it's a joke. It's a joke that you see somebody who possibly is experiencing a mental breakdown. It's a joke. But that's how we are. And then when we look around and something happens, like, well, I guess what happened today, and you see somebody vibrant, young, with a promising future just decide that leaving this world was their best option, then it hits us. Wow, I didn't know it was that bad. Well, did you try to find out? And I'm blasting nobody. I'm just trying to say that we got to get more proactive and less reactive. Because, yes, the reaction, we understand it. We're human beings, and of course we react to certain things, but it doesn't bring the person back because the action has already been done. But being proactive and trying to be more aware and more considerate and more caring and trying to actually help in whatever way we can. And if we don't know how to help the person, we try to find someone who can help the person. If the concern is there, we can find a way. We can find a way. So, I just want to tell you, we know. If we don't know by now, we gotta know. Depression is real. Anxiety is real. Mental unwellness is real. We know this, right? And the fact that I am happy that this is becoming more of a conversation and we are more open about this. And as time goes on, it does seem to be becoming less taboo. We still need to do more. We need to do more. Stop judging persons who are going through. Stop just casually tossing what a person is going through as not relevant, or well, they just can't handle it, or they need to suck it up and move on with their life. Stop doing that. If you suspect that anybody, anyone that you know or you care about, or even if you don't care about them and you suspect that they're going through some type of depression, having some type of anxiety, having any type of bipolar disorder, do your part. Be a good human. Be your brother's keeper. Do something about it. Let's just not react when these people get to the point where they are so devastated and they have just not found any help or any support or any solace in anything that they decide to take their life. Let's not go around that mulberry bush again. Let's do something about it, people. We know that mental illness is real. Mental illness is serious. But mental illness is also treatable. Not only that, with the help of those we love, we can really, really be champions of mental illness. We can overcome. And there's many that have. But, when you're going through mental unwellness, as with if you're going through a cancer diagnosis and treatment, support, help is key. You're at that time in your life where you really need help. You're weak. You need those around you who care about you to be strong. So I'm just cautioning us tonight to just don't let life just be all about us. When we say we love somebody and we care for somebody, don't just say it with your lip. Love is an action word, people. And sometimes love is going to put you out of your way. Sometimes love is going to inconvenience you. Sometimes love is going to have you doing things that you don't necessarily want to do because your life is so filled with whatever it is you're doing. And this is what true love is, and true caring. So let's exhibit that. Let's get away from this selfish mentality that has been, breeding in our society. And let's care for each other. Okay? Let's care for. This is the only way that we're going to really gain the victory on this mental health crisis. And let me tell y'all something. We talking about COVID being a pandemic. Mental health is the real pandemic, okay? When you look and you drive around your vehicle and you see someone on the side of the road talking to themselves, don't think too highly of yourself. Don't think that you can't get there, because that person ain't born like that. They were once seen as well. Something got them to that point that they're at. So I encourage us to just not take this lightly. Even though I understand it's difficult for a lot of us to understand it. If you don't understand it, find somebody that does. Make the effort to help those that you care about. Life is hard, people. We know this. Life is hard. We go through some really, really rough stuff. And sometimes we're just broken. I was broken. I was so broken. Sometimes we're in that dark place. We can't see the good in this life. And sometimes we need those around us, the people that love and care about us, to really just help us, be our strength during that time of weakness, to help support us and get us to where we need to be, to become a mentally well person. So my condolences to the young lady's family. My heart always aches when I hear that type of thing. Just to know that a person thought that that was their only way out, but I understand it. It's pain. Mental illness is pain. You're living a life of pain, and sometimes we just want to escape that. And a lot of people, they make up their mind that the only way to escape it is to bring death upon themselves so there's no more pain. They're tired suffering, they're tired going through what they're going through, and they feel sometimes like no one is there for them. They don't know how to conquer and how to get through what they're experiencing. And not all of us are fortunate enough to even have, and even as Christians, I'm a Christian people. I believe in the goodness and the grace of God. But it was a struggle. But, even as a Christian person, we do experience mental unwellness. But, let's just remember that God is able, that we gain the victory, and that no darkness that falls upon us, we cannot climb out of with God's grace and with God's strength. Because He is ultimately, for me, He's the author of my life. So I know that even when I don't feel like it, with Him all things are possible. And that includes conquering mental unwellness, being wise in my steps, being wise in the way that I really look at what I'm going through and get past it. So I just wanted to come to you tonight and just talk about that. But listen, be well, people. Live well. Don't put on no front for Facebook. Don't put on no front for no one. Be who you are. Live your truth. The Bible tells us the truth will set you free. And it's so true. If you're not okay, screw it. You're not okay. This is that time you're not okay. So, live your truth. And if you need help, seek it. If you need somebody to support you, reach out yourself. Do what you need to do. Because no one is perfect. We all have our crosses to bear in life. The Bible tells us this world that we live in is a fallen one. James 1 tells us it's filled with trials and tribulations. But if we use the wisdom that God has given us and the resources that He has provided for us on earth, we can conquer anything. And no weapon put before us, because, ultimately, all of these are, Satan is at the helm of it all, right? He is such a dirty old dog. I so hate him. I so hate him. But at the end of the day, it's his job to wreak havoc in this world. It's his job to destroy us. The Bible tells us he roams this earth seeking whom he may devour and whom he may destroy. So we know that we have to fight fire with fire, people. And for those of us who are privileged to be children of God, then this is the time for us to use our weapons, people. And this is how we fight. Okay, Mom, you're going by the steps. This is how we fight. We use God's word. We use God's people. We use the wisdom that God has given man. We use all of the weapons that God has provided us with to fight the enemy. So I want you to know that if you're going through tonight and you're watching me and you're hearing my voice, be encouraged, my brother or my sister. Be encouraged. Hold on. God is with you and He can get you through this. Do not struggle in silence. Do not struggle in silence. You reach out. You speak your truth. You figure out a way to get yourself through it. And if you can't, you reach out to somebody and ask them, help me. Put your pride aside. Pride comes before the fall. A lot of people don't want to admit even when they are going through. Screw that. That is how Satan gets us, people. We always go through. Don't mind all the smiles and all the pearly whites on these apps. This ain't real life, people. This ain't real life. And in real life, we all have burdens to bear. We all have burdens to bear. We all have struggles. And we all have times when we need the help of a brother or a sister. Because that's the circle of life. That's how God created us. The greatest commandment, He said, love the Lord your God. And then what is on the heels of that? Love each other. Love is an action word. We can't just come bust about it. And then when we really need to show it, and need to help someone out, we too busy. Our schedule too filled. We doing us. Whatever other way you want to put it. But we can't help the person that we love. And then when they go dead, you all over their casket snotty. That don't make no sense, people. That don't make no sense. Let's love each other while we are alive. Let's care for each other while we are alive. Let's help each other as much as we can while we are here. Because there is going to come a day when none of us are going to be here. And getting snotty over the casket, I ain't saying you're in pain. I ain't saying I don't understand it. But listen, if you had the opportunity to help me when I was alive and well and you didn't, I just wish I could just pop right out of that casket for you and grab you and say, get out of here. Because it don't make no sense. I don't need the sympathy. I don't need the tears. I don't need that. What I needed was you when I was alive and well. So, be encouraged. You're going to get through this. You're going to get through this. You have the victory. Many people have suffered with depression. Many people have suffered with anxiety. Many people suffer with mental unwellness, and they are able to conquer. Is it easy? No. Is it something that requires constant work? Yes. But can you do it? Yes, you can. Okay? Yes, you can. Spoken from someone who has been to hell and back, who has been in that dark place, who has been through that darkness. You can conquer. Okay? And you will with the grace of God. So I hope the message is received tonight, people. I'm always coming to you. It's all love, man. Love and light from my heart to you all. That's all I always want for any of you. And I always, as with any video I do, I'm saying this because in my heart of heart, I just feel like someone is listening that is going to if you just take one small bit of this, and if it helps you or someone that you care about, then woohoo, that means that I am victorious. Because as I was helped, I got to pass that on. I got to now help you. I got to let you know it's going to be all right. Just like somebody had to let me know it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right, people. Life hard. But you have more strength than you even know you do. And you're going to get through it. Nothing lasts forever. Seasons. Seasons. And just ask God to give you the wisdom to order your steps. So on that note, I was really much longer than I anticipated being. But I just felt it in my heart and my spirit that this needed to be said tonight. And again, my condolences, my prayers for the family of that young lady, and for anyone who has had to bury a loved one due to suicide. My heart goes out to you. So love and light to you, my brothers and sisters. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Live well, man. Love passionately. And God bless you. God bless you.